All right, hey guys, we're back at it with the note sheet here. Um, I guess I didn't clarify last time, but just so you're aware, if I don't post a note sheet, that means it's a work day for you, and I will most likely be giving a day or two to work on stuff, unless it's really short or something like that. But usually it'll be assignment one day. You can start that assignment, and the next day you have time to work on it, and then the next day I'll give you a new note sheet with an assignment. So yesterday when you got nothing, that was just so you had time to kind of catch up on your stuff. So I'll give you work days pretty frequently. All right, so today we're going to go into 5.3, which you don't have because I didn't print this for you. But if you have a printer, you can print out the notes, or you can just follow along on in a notebook, loosely paper. That'll work just fine. It's pretty short. We're going to cover the multiplication principle and how is it used. So if you recall, on Tuesday we did probability. The multiplication principle actually helps us find probability. So by definition, the multiplication principle is if you can do one task in A and a second task in B ways, then both tasks can be done in A times B ways. So you multiply the two together. What this means is like when you flip a coin, there's only two ways you can flip a coin, heads or tails. Or if you roll a dice, there's more possible things that could happen with the dice than with flipping a coin. So in example 1, it says, how many outcomes are there from flipping a coin and rolling a 6-sided dice? Well, the coin, as we just said, there's 2. The dice, or the die, is 6. Could be a 1 through a 6. So how many possible outcomes are there? You take 2 times 6, and you'll get 12. 12 total outcomes. And that's what we did the other day in the notes when we listed H1, H2, H3, or T1, T2, T3, and so on. We listed them all out. We just found out there's 12 of them without listing them. Example 2. How many different combinations of meal choices can be chosen from 4 main courses, 5 side dishes, and 3 desserts if you must take one of each? So you're going to eat somewhere, and you have to choose one of 4 main courses, one of 5 side dishes, and one of 3 desserts. So you would do 4 times 5 times 3 desserts. So the total number of combinations or outcomes would be 60. So instead of writing these out again like we did with the Jaguar and the convertible top and the leather, we could find out by doing multiplication, seeing, oh, there's 60 possible combinations. Okay. Sampling with replacement and sampling without. So sometimes you can do things differently. Like, let's say you're drawing names out of a hat, and there's 20 names in the hat. You could draw a name, and once it's drawn, you keep it out, or you could draw a name and then put it back in and draw again. So depending on how you do your sampling, you could get different outcomes. So example 3 says, how many ways can you choose a 5-digit number that does not use any digit more than once? So this means without replacement. So you want to have a 5-digit number. Okay, that just means we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places to fill in. So when you pick the first number for the first digit, there are 10 possible numbers. So in this first spot, you could put a 0, a 1, a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or a 9. So there's 10 possible ones to put in there, 0 through 9. You could pick any one of those you want. The second digit, so right here, we can't use the same digit twice, right? It says you cannot use any digit more than once. So let's pretend we put 1 in the first spot. We can't use 1 again. So how many numbers are left? 9. Okay, so there's 9 left for the second spot. The third digit. So you got to pick a number for the third digit. And you can't use one of the numbers you used in the first spot or the second spot. So there were 10 possible ones right away. Then we used one of them. There were 9 left. In the second spot, there were 9 possible numbers, and we used one of those numbers. So now there's only 8 left. Okay, and once you use a number in the third spot, you got to pick one for the fourth spot. How many are left? 7. And then how many are left in the last spot? 6. Okay, so there's 10 numbers to choose from right away. Then there's only 9. Then there's 8. Then there's 7 to pick from, and then there's 6. So to find out how many possible combinations there are for a 5-digit number, it's 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6. So if you do all this, you'd end up with 30,240 possible 5-digit numbers. What that means is, like, let's say one of you make up a 5-digit number. Your number could be 1, 3, 4. Shouldn't have put a comma there. Let me erase this. So you could pick 1, 3, 4, 2, 8. That's a 5-digit number. Somebody else could pick the same number, except they might change the 8 to 7. So you see how you could just keep everything the same except for change one number? So how many possible 5-digit numbers are there? Over 30,000. Okay, those are just examples of that. And then example 4. How many ways can you choose a 5-digit number if you can use the same digit as many times as you want? What this means is if you wanted to, in this example, you could do 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. That's okay for example 4 because it says you can do replacement. This would not be okay in example 3 because example 3 said without replacement. So now it's okay to use the same number again and again and again. So if we have our 5 digits, okay, how many possible numbers could go in the first spot? There's 10 because it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. There's 10 different numbers that could go there. And then we can use any number we want again. So now there's 10 possible numbers here, 10 here, 10 here, and 10 here. So each digit, there's 10 choices. So to find out how many options are there, you would do 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. So how many possible 5-digit numbers are there if it's okay to repeat a number? In this one, there is 100,000 possible numbers. So again, the difference was example 4, you could repeat numbers. In example 3, if you did like 22,128, that's not okay because no replacement. But in example 4, you can replace it. So that is the difference there when you can repeat numbers or when you can't. All right, again, if you have questions with anything, please email me. I'll get back to you. I can make videos pretty quick to answer questions, so feel free to reach out.